Good morning. Welcome to your first critique for image design. Woo!
Green Sally up, green Sally down. Last done start, gotta tell the ground. Green Sally up, green Sally down. Last done start, gotta tell the ground. Green Sally up, green Sally down. Last done start, gotta tell the ground. Green Sally up, green Sally down. Last done start, gotta tell the ground.
All right, so we're first going to cover the Utah State Standards for Visual Arts. We're going to talk about the elements of art, principles of design, what a critique is. We'll critique the student artworks and you get to vote for a winner. All right, so Utah Visual Art Standards, you know, the standards guide our learning, right? What standards does a critique involve? Well, it's going to involve refinement for one thing, because anytime you're getting feedback on your work, you want to take that feedback and refine it. Go back and improve your craft. Standard 2 for perceiving, obviously this is the biggie right here, okay, because we're critiquing the visual art. We're evaluating the value of that visual art. Expressing, in order to be able to express deep and meaningful art, you need to understand how your viewer is going to perceive it. And so it's really helpful for you to see lots of art yourself so that you can see how you perceive it and then be able to apply that to your own work. And then contextualizing is a big one as well. Whenever you're looking at artwork, you want to be trying to align that artwork in your mind with periods of history you might have studied. What part of the world do you think it comes from? What time period? And your own personal experience. You're also going to, when you're making work, synthesize it with other educational subjects. So be looking for links to other educational subjects with artwork, and always be evaluating that artwork and thinking about the impact that it would have on life outside of school. For example, if that artwork are on a billboard or in a public place like a mall or in a park. So we kind of covered in detail the different standards. There's making, perceiving, expressing, and contextualizing. Your goal as an artist is to achieve all 4 standards in each work of art you create. That's the challenge that I give to you. Put some thought into your art. How can you inspire your viewer to think and see things differently? Research a topic that interests you. Formulate a powerful message and communicate that in your artwork. Do something completely unexpected. Show us what you know. What a critique is not. A critique is not value words like ugly or pretty, or whether you like or don't like it. Although we are all certainly entitled to our opinions, the purpose of a critique is to help the artist develop his or her craft, not to decide whether we think it's pretty or ugly. I have an excellent refinement example from this week's assignment. This is a gorgeous design, right? But if you look carefully, does it fulfill the rubric? Remember, we had to colorize 3 different areas. Well, we have a winner here. The student took the feedback that I gave in the grade book, and this is an excellent example of refinement. Bravo! So a critique is a 4-step critical thinking process. The first step in the critique is description. What do you see? Image design. I see something that was created in a computer graphics program. I see a colorized landscape, for example. Analysis. How does the artist use the elements and principles of design in the design, and what effects do they create? So we'll be doing each of these steps as an example in just a moment here. Step 3 is interpretation. What message do you, the viewer, perceive? And what was the artist's intention, do you think? And step 4 is evaluation. You can ask questions like, did the artist successfully surprise you with a new world? Did the artist create a work of art that is ready to publish? What effect would this work of art have on people if it were published in a billboard or in a park? So project 1, colorizing. It's worth 100 points. You're going to take an original image and you're going to colorize it. Here's an example of that image colorized, all of it just colorized once. So for example, this one was colorized with a blue hue, right? But this is an example of having 3 different areas of colorization. You'll notice that the sky is peach, the tree is a bluish green hue, and the foliage that you see is a lavender hue. So the student had to use their selection skills to, actually I did this, to select the 3 separate areas and colorize them separately. So that was the task that you had this week. So let's look at the elements of design. Remember, they're line, shape, space, value, texture, color, and form. Remember, the elements of design or the elements of art are used interchangeably, okay? These are just the tools to make the artwork. So let's take a look. And the principles of design. What principles of design did I use? So remember, the principles of design are how you use those tools to make the art. So you can use those tools to create patterns, to create contrast, emphasis, balance or imbalance, proportion, or something that's out of proportion or out of scale, harmony, or unity, rhythm and movement. So I'm not going to go over the rubric. Let's practice going through the steps of the critique. So we're going to go through each step: description, analysis, interpretation, and evaluation. And hopefully you'll know which step is which by the time we're done. So here's the description. Remember, we're going to talk about the medium. So the medium used here was GIMP. It's a photo manipulation software program. Okay. I see. What do I see? That's all you're doing when you're describing, right? I see a surreal world where the trunks of trees are blue, foliage is lavender colored, and skies are peachy. That's what I see. Now the analysis is going to go a little deeper. It's going to talk about the elements of art and the principles of design. So I've only picked a color. There's probably more, but I'm just picking a couple. Color. The artist uses color to create an unexpected imaginary world. Space. The artist has colorized at least 3 different parts of space differently. The principles of design used. Contrast. The blue color of the tree, the main object, contrasts with the peach-colored sky and lavender field so as to emphasize the tree. Unity. The artist has chosen colors that complement each other, creating a sense of harmony and unity. Interpretation. The artist's intention is to celebrate how exciting it is that we have technology at our fingertips that allows us to express the world we see in our imaginations and to be able to share that with others. Evaluation. The artist successfully used color to create an idyllic world that intrigues the viewer and makes the viewer wish he or she could step inside the canvas. If this piece were posted in a public space, the colors would evoke a sense of peacefulness, and the subject matter may inspire the mind to journey to an interesting imaginary place. So here's your bonus question. Do you know what idyllic means? This is an idyllic world. What does that mean? Idyllic. This is one of my favorite tools that I use when I am reading or writing and thinking of great words to use. Vocabulary.com. Check it out. It's really fun. They have little quizzes on there that you can go through, just like an SAT test, and see if you know the definitions of words. It's really fun and engaging. And I love the definitions that they give. They also will have a little speaker on there. You can hear how the word is pronounced. And the definitions are more fun than pick, dictionary.com or, Webster's or whatever. Check this out. A week at the beach that goes perfectly is an idyllic vacation. Idyllic means so wonderful, it seems almost magic. Are you having an idyllic childhood? You may not think so now, but in your old age, you may remember your days as a youngster as simple and carefree. The clear blue water of the Caribbean Sea, the beautiful village perched on a cliffside, the sunny grassy field of wildflowers, these are all idyls, the simple, peaceful scenes that you may or may not find idyllic. Fun, huh? I love that site. So if you ever need to look up a word, go to what? Vocabulary.com. Great site. So here's your quiz. What step of the critique process describes the use of line, form, and balance in the artwork? Is it description, analysis, interpretation, and evaluation? So remember, what are line, form, and balance, right? Those are elements and principles of design, right? So which step did we talk about the elements and principles of design? That was your analysis, where you went a little bit deeper, remember? What step of the critique process assesses whether the artist successfully created an unexpected new world that would have an impact on people if it were posted in a public space? Is that description, analysis, interpretation, or evaluation? The key word here is successful. Whenever we are determining whether something is successful, that's an evaluation. Okay, so what step in the critique process takes a deeper look at the artist's intent for creating the artwork? Description, analysis, interpretation, or evaluation. So we're talking about the artist's intention, or the meaning that the artist was intending to make, or the point, or the gist. That's the interpretation. And then what step of the critique process simply describes the medium, the subject matter, what you see? That was just the description. So hopefully you have those down. Excellent. So are you ready? Get set. Critique. But wait, as you critique, take your time to think about how each artwork reflects the elements of art and principles of design. What did each artist do that was interesting and unique? What would the artist do to refine his or her craft? Keep track of your favorites. Remember to write the numbers down because you're going to vote later. Actually was not the Winds of Ithaca. It was Hidden Planet. I got this from a website called Jamendo, and what it is it's public music. You can use it. It doesn't have any copyright infringement on it. So if you're making your own videos, Jamendo. It's JAMENDO.com. Sorry, I didn't get it on that slide for you. All right, so just remember to read the feedback I give you in the gradebook. Click on grades at the top of the homepage to get to gradebook. If you don't get a perfect score, use my feedback. Make any refinements necessary and resubmit for full credit. Come and see me in the help room if you need help. I'm there Monday through Wednesday, 3:30 to 4 p.m. And that concludes our critique. Go vote for a winner.